Hey y'all, how's it going? I hope you're well. I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to the block. Oh my goodness, it has been a minute since my co host, Doc Vince, and I have been here together. I know you've been seeing him periodically on our channels and on the block and hosting shows, but I'm back. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. Please comment and tell us where you're joining from. What are you up to? Just tell us something in the comment, like what are you doing in the blockchain space and where you're joining us from. I am Dr. Tammy Francis. I am the Director of Accreditation and Certification for the International Council of Registered Blockchain Professionals, ICORBP, and was what we call it. And that's our handle on platforms, ICORBP underscore org. And that's how you can connect with us. You can follow us wherever you are joining us here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, and all that good stuff to make sure that you're following us. So today we're just coming to announce our signature program, and it's a program that we have been talking about and mentioning and giving you a teaser that it was coming. And that was the primary purpose of our particular organization, is to embark on this idea of certifying professionals. And so today, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you the ins and the outs, the scoop, as we like to say. I'll give you the scoop on how you can apply for the program, if it's something you're going to be interested in, and what you can expect as a result of joining us on this journey. And if you join us soon, during this launch, you'll notice that there'll be a slight incentive, and I say that sarcastically because it's huge. A huge incentive for joining us and being a part and entering our program and joining the ranks of other certified professionals. So I'm going to bring my co-host in to at least say hello. He will probably pop in and out, but and hang out with me. But I'm going to bring my co-host so at least he can say hello and we can be back on the screen together again because it's been a minute. So I'm going to ask Doc Vince to join me, even if it's just for a second, to introduce yourself, say hello, and tell them what you're doing for ICOR BP and in this blockchain industry.
Hey, Dr. Tammy. Hello, hello, everyone who's here. I'm so happy, Dr. Tammy, that we have this broadcast again at the block. And yeah, I'm the business development director of ICOR BP, and we've been doing a lot of stuff in the back end. And some might say, what happened? Where's ICOR BP? I mean, you guys really don't know. It's like, and this is the time, I guess, we have this announcement coming from Dr. Time itself. But I mean,
Yeah, we've been having our heads down trying to get this out and
yes,
launched.
ma'am.
And I think May is a beautiful month to launch it. So, you know, just I'm just a little biased.
What's in May? All I know in May is that Cinco de Mayo.
What? It was the month I was born. Like, what are you talking about? It's the
Oh
month
yeah,
I came on earth.
sorry about that. Sorry about that. But
But I'm not sharing the date,
I
but
know.
I celebrate all month long. So hang out with me.
There you go.
I'm
There you
sure we'll
go.
talk about it on a couple of episodes.
And Dr. Tammy, before we go on our main topic, maybe
Yeah,
we could give a shout out to those who are here, those who are
absolutely. Let's do
watching.
that. Let's see who's joining us.
We got the Storm Family Adventures. That's awesome.
Hello, welcome.
Chuku, or I got the name right, but on Yikulu. I can't
Hello
wait.
there.
Hello, Noble. Uh,
Yes, Noble, finally.
Noble is here.
Finally.
Finally, he said, "Thank you. My name is Noble. I am joining from France. I'm currently studying for CSC in blockchain studies." There you go.
Awesome. So he sounds like he's a student of one of our partners, Alltech
Yes,
University.
ma'am. Feels good to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Chioma. Okay, I guess we have a lot of people. My
Yay! Hey,
Then
hey,
joining from
Alan.
Nigeria, currently studying CSC and blockchain studies.
Oh my goodness. So all the people joining us that's currently studying blockchain
Uh-huh.
studies and or have been through one of the programs with our partners are going to be excited about today's announcement. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready.
There you go. Noble from Altash University. I got one question first.
Yes.
I mean, I got somebody asking me, like, what's the difference wherein you got a blockchain certification from different courses or different universities, should they call, or different certification bodies, from being a certified registered blockchain professional?
Well, that's a great question because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So, the really good thing about what we've created is that we are combining their traditional training and education with their experience. So, most places will just certify you based on the credentials you got from them, that they have witnessed, that they have offered. But what we do is we take all those documents, all those artifacts, diplomas, certificates, licenses, resumes, your degrees, we take all of that and look at those things and vet them. Of course, we do we have a process for going through those things and making sure they're accurate, that people are not falsifying anything. And then we give you the certification. So what our certification signifies is a your collective experience and training. And therefore, if you need some kind of documentation, it's really good for those who have a lot of experience but only have started entering into this space. But they have a lot of experience as a developer. They have a lot of experience as a coder, which is a big part of blockchain technology and being in this space. And they can add that to their training or courses that they've taken, their micro credentials, or their actual, if they have a degree or, traditional type diploma, then they can add all that. So that's the good thing about what we're creating and what we have created. And so it's really to help people be competitive, right? We want people to be competitive in this market. And the only way you can be competitive is you got to show proof. Like, we know it's a lot of nefarious things happen, some weird things happening in this space. And so it's really good to have documentation from someone who's credible, not just from anybody, because anybody can, there's all these fancy programs now that I can't even work, that you can make your own certificate. You can create your own, but it's great to have it from a certifying body that can validate and support what you are saying, what you are claiming in an interview, or as you're trying to seek employment or a project or a contract. Even if you're like a business owner and you're seeking a
Mhm.
contract and they want to make sure you have this experience, because what we do behind the scenes is we go through that process of checking out these credentials, following up, making sure that what you have submitted is true and accurate.
Awesome, Dr. Tammy. Um, I guess I'll give the whole floor to you to make that
Okay.
announcement. And if there are any questions that will be coming up, I'll be popping out. So, Dr. Tammy, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So y'all, this is our certification. So you'll see the little, oh, let me get the right side here. Up here, you see that uh little logo up there. A lot of what we do is certify individuals. We also have an accreditation for actual programs, but today we're talking about the individuals and how we certify the individual and what that means. So, getting your certification with ICORBP is about formalizing your blockchain credentials, recognizing that your own learning and experience in the blockchain space is valuable and should be documented, something that you can add to your resume, but also have the documentation to follow it. It establishes your credibility as a blockchain professional. So it's real value that we are offering, and your peers can see it. It acknowledges your expertise in your work. um, and it increases possibly your earning potential. I'm just saying. That's a thing as well, right? Some of the other benefits to getting a certification with ICORBP is one is electronic. So you will have access once you've gone through the process, you've been approved, you will get a electronic format of your credential. So not only will you get the actual PDF that you can print and have and add to your digital portfolio, but you'll also have a QR code that can be scanned where other that you can share, that others can access that credential as well. It's portable because you can take it anywhere. You don't have to, once you get that and you have your account, you don't have to call us. You don't have to call us to get access to it. You have access to it through your account. And you can decide how you want to do it. We offer probably about 10 different options for you. So you can decide what combination of those that you want to hold, that you want to put together and select the appropriate certification for us to approve in our process. And so that's the good thing. You can arrange your credentials in different combinations and for different audiences. And it just depends on what what are you seeking to do and who is that potential employer. Um, and so we also recognize prior learning. So not only those things that you've gotten in the last, year, but those things that you have accumulated over your lifetime. So the lifetime learning, the things that you have record and you can prove, those are those things that you have. So that's the cool thing about it. And we have different certifications that you can apply for. We have so many that once you go onto the website, you'll see whether you're a registered blockchain professional. That's our general one. But you can also apply for the registered blockchain educator, registered blockchain researcher, registered blockchain developer, registered blockchain advisor. So there's so many that you can apply for. And the one you how you know which one to apply for depends on the hours. How many hours have you accumulated between your education, your seat time in a formal training and education that you've gotten credit for, or the a number of years slash hours that you've worked in the industry? So you can kind of do a combination of those. And when you go through our process and you look at our website, you'll be able to see exactly which one you qualify for that you can apply for. So that's the cool thing about it, is that you have options and you can actually see and you can stack these. So you can add them as well. Of course, what our promotion right now, which I'm going to get to later, our promotion right now for joining is for one, but you can actually apply for multiple. It's just that one is a part of the promotion. And so, therefore, you can decide how you want to do it based on your budget and based on what you're trying to do in this space. So, the certification process takes up to 6 weeks. And it's because we have to, because I know because we're doing this launch, we'll have an influx of those who are applying. But beyond that, it's a rigorous process because we have to go through each person's artifact, each person documentation and or links, websites, references, all those things that you're going to submit. So we have to really look at all of that. And we will look at all of that and go through it in order to say yes, you qualify for this certification or not. And of course, if not, then you'll get some rationale on the things that you need. Maybe it's hours, maybe it's a document that you didn't supply, or we just couldn't read, we couldn't open it, we couldn't access it. So those type of things may happen, but deny doesn't mean never. It just means that we probably have to do well, whatever the recommendations are to rectify the situation. You'll have to address those, and we'll work with you for that. So that's the cool thing about our certification and what we're doing. I really am liking that Doc Vince has that up so you can kind of see it as I was talking. So that's great. Thank you, Doc Vince, for having that up and showing that. And you can kind of see like each one of these categories have a different have different certifications you can apply for, and it gives you the description and what is required of those. You can see there it has the clock hours. It kind of gives you a description so you know like do I qualify for that? Does my experience and what I'm submitting for documentation match that? So you'll see quite a bit of them. You'll see the actual certificates here, and these are the certificates that you would apply for. Of course, you wouldn't apply for the partner or anything because we're talking about individuals today. We'll come back. Doc Vix and I will talk about that later once we finish that process. We'll come back and talk about the organizations, but for right now, we're talking about the individual. And you saw the list there of the individuals. So that's really, really cool. So thank you, Doc Vince, for pulling that up. So let me just go and talk about the process a little more. So let me just announce. Okay, should I have a drum roll or something, Doc Vince? Drum roll, please, on our promotion
I
and what
just
we're doing.
I'll just do the drum roll for you. Brrrr. That's it.
That's it. That's it. So we are happy to announce that what we're doing is we're having an incentive. So for those of you who are either you have been connected with us or you're watching to this, you were listening to this broadcast, watching this broadcast, we are offering a special launch for the first 1,000 people. Now, I want you to know that we have released this to our VIPs already. So, you'll have to kind of get in because, some of those spots are taken. But we are offering one certification free. Did y'all hear me? Y'all may not have heard me. So for those people in the back, we're offering one certification free. And so we'll put up the code here. It will put up the code for you to enter that code. And what's going to happen, just so you know, you'll set up your account. What we'll do is we'll be sharing in the comments below or in the description above. You'll see the link, and you'll also see we'll put the code and we'll add that. I'll also put my email. I'll add that too. So if you have any issues, you can contact me. But what you'll see is you'll set up an account, you'll enter the promotional code, and then what'll happen is you'll have to submit a few artifacts. You'll submit your resume, you'll share your LinkedIn profile if you have that. Anything that you have, you will submit that. So once you set up the account, you enter your code, you submit your artifacts, you're just going to hit submit. When you hit submit, it's going to seem like one, you owe something to us financially, and two, it's going to seem like nothing happened. I promise you it did. So if you happen to submit it multiple times, what'll happen is I will kick one of them back and keep one. But it'll just seem like nothing's happening, but something is happening. So Doug Vince is going to show us his. And like I said, it's going to take us a little time to go through all these because it's a process that we'll have to go through. And so it'll be a 4 to 6 weeks. And so when you know yours has been approved, what will happen is you will get a notification via email. And you may see, for those of you who are in this promotion and meet the promotion and get in the first 1,000, you'll see that little red bar at the top. That will disappear. We'll have to do some things on the back end to accept and approve your code, and you'll see that disappear. And so that should disappear within the first 60 days. So within that 6 week period. And so that'll disappear as well when your application is approved. So you'll just kind of monitor that. Um, so you'll see this is what the platform looks like once you get in it. You'll see this is Doc Fancy sharing his personal information. here, just a little bit, but he owes us. That's what I saw.
No, I'm gonna take that out now. I already took it out. So,
But yeah, so when you see that, but just know, like, once everything is clear and once you get that email that everything is okay, you'll be fine. Like, it should be fine and it should be ready to go. But you got to get in early, because after that, that red bar is going to mean you really owe us. And then after 60 days, we'll clear your account, and delete everything or deny your, if that goes unpaid. But that will get you for the next round, because I'm just assuming that those who are watching this broadcast are going to get in, because they're going to get in early. So I hope you'll join us. So, Doc Vince, do we have any questions? Because I know I've done a lot of talking, but do we have any questions, any comments that we want to acknowledge?
yeah,
Um,
I think we do have some questions.
okay,
Let me see.
because I know
Uh,
it's a lot going on in this chat, so
oh
I want to
man,
make sure I didn't miss anything.
this. I know there's benefit to being a registered blockchain professional. Are there any partnerships you have with firms and industries?
So we have partnerships and firms, but it's usually because they have sought out our certification and they want their employees, they want their members, their community to be certified. So it's not necessarily partnerships that, um, and you can probably take advantage of some of those partnerships, but it'll be different. It wouldn't be the same as, it'd just be basically like a recommendation for their services, because they are a partner. And we have several partners that we probably will acknowledge here in a minute.
Mm.
But yeah.
Are there any other certifying bodies like ICORBP?
So there are, like I said, most of them certify you based on your going through the courses with their institution, with their platform. They'll
Mm,
give you a certification. So in that sense, yes. But is there any particular organization that will take, all your things that you've done, experience and formal training, and certify you? As far as I know, no. But you know,
I got a tough one here, Dr.
okay.
Tammy.
Oh, I may not have an answer.
I'm sure you do. What makes ICOR BP an authority in certifying blockchain professionals? Is that tough one?
No, it doesn't. One, it's based on our particular experience and what we have done, and we have been, in this business for a minute. And what we are creating is an opportunity for folks to be certified. And we have, somebody asked about partners and collaboration and collaborators with us, that those are the people who we answer to, right?
Mhm.
Those are the people that, are checking on us, right? Because there's always somebody checking on somebody, right? So we are bound by the people that are part of our advisors and our boards and our collaborators and partners.
I got a question from Noble again. Said, are there any prerequisite examinations for Mike or BP one needs to sit down before registration?
So at this time, the exam is part of the incentive. There will be an exam. There is a process for that in the future. Right now, because we're doing this incentive, we're really, taking our time and looking at your credentials and looking at what you have and really going through that. And so, therefore, it requires us to do a lot of legwork in order to verify that you are who you say you are and you have done what you said you've done. So what we're doing is taking that, and so what we're accepting now, and the type of artifacts we are accepting now are slightly different, and they're a little more strict on what we're accepting because we have waived the exam. In the future, when there's an exam, then it doesn't matter. You can take the exam, and if you pass, that's an option for you to be certified. Right now, we're just looking at documents, and because we're just looking at documents, we are, have a little more rigorous process attached to it. And what we are accepting as valid and good, and true is a little different than in the future. Because in the future, if it doesn't fit our standards, then and rigor, then you would have the option to take an exam.
I guess that's the comment of winner Mogana, almost the same as Noble. He was probably asking the same question. What is the product launch about? What products are you launching? Is
We're
it a
not we're
prerequisite
not
for my
launching a
certification?
physical, yeah, we're not launching a physical product.
Mhm,
We are a certifying body. So what
mhm.
we are launching is our program that so not a product but a program where that you can apply to pursue a certification. And right now it's free. Um, and it's free because it does cost. But it does. Your certification is valid for 2 years, but you must have so many clock hours. And I think Doc Vince showed that earlier in the broadcast. So you may have to at the end rewind and go back to that. But there's so many clock hours attached to the different certifications, which means those hours are based on your education and training. Those seat hours. I know I went through a 6-week course this past December, and it on that certificate it said that it was 36 hours, that it was 36 hours of training in blockchain and cryptocurrency. And so that's what we look at. If we look at that, and then of course we go to the actual organization that says they certified you and make sure they exist and check out their program and what are the components of their program. So it's a very rigorous process for us to go through. That's why when you submit, it won't be approved immediately. You have to give us some time to go through the artifacts. And there was
Now,
a second part about prerequisite. I missed that one.
I'm sorry.
Was that I know there was the second part of that question was about a prerequisite. Okay, is it a prerequisite to my certification with Altash University? No,
No.
Altash University is a prerequisite for our certification. You must have some kind of training or experience that you can justify and validate and submit documentation for. So once you complete the Altash program, then and depending on how many hours that is considered, then in addition to some of the other things that you submit, then you can apply. So those other things are prerequisites for our program.
And winner, I hope we answered your question. If not, please let us know. Others who are watching right now, just make a comment. I'm just gonna let them see what the certification looks like. My personal thing. I
Yeah.
hope that will work.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Let me see. Let's go right here.
So,
So all
like
they
I
have,
said, you would
I
have a
still owe
QR
you.
code. Yeah, and you'll have a QR code. Now,
Uh huh.
Doc Vince owes us money, so
I
his is
know.
red.
And
So
it says pay now. I
we
have to pay.
until
Okay.
we process his, he it shows that he owes us money. So his is red. Once that is he remits his payment and updates his account, it'll all turn blue. It'll be blue, and you'll know that it won't be red. It'll be blue, but you can see the certificate. You'll see the QR code is there. And then, of course, you can download an image of your certificate and see the actual certificate and when it expires. And whatever day you apply is the expiration date. So even though it may take a minute for it to process, it's
Uh
based
huh.
on the day that you apply, just so y'all know. So if you apply May 8th, but it's not approved and processed to June 8th, then it still goes back to the date that you applied.
Yep. And so it says here Thursday, April 17th. I guess that's the time I applied for it. And it expires on what? 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Now,
Noble, yes, right now we're offering it free. And if you'll look in the description or the comments, we will post the link and the code for you to enter.
a peek into the future. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't know if he's talking about what I'm talking about or your background, because your background looked very futuristic. So there's right there. That's the platform. That's where you go to apply. That's on the screen there at the bottom, icorbp.racklet.com. Once you go there, then you'll see the screens that, or it'll look like the platform that Doc Vince showed. So that's what it'll look like. And then you'll see it'll prompt you to set up an account, and
Mm,
then of course to enter your information.
there you go. Are there any questions? I guess
Yeah. Did any more
let
come
me go
in?
back to the main screen. Any more questions that
Okay, so one of the questions I see here is how do we get the coupon code?
oh,
You got to just listen carefully because I throw it in there every now and then, but I don't make it really. We hadn't put it up on the screen, but
yeah.
it's VIP code. VIP code, one word altogether. So that's the code.
Should it be in capital letter or
Yes,
what?
all cap. I don't know if it matters, but I usually put it in all caps so people are not confused about is that a G or a Q. Uh, but there we go. But yeah, VIP code. There it is on the screen as well.
There you go.
But like I said, it'll be above this video or below this video, depending on which platform you're on. I think YouTube, it'll be below. All the other platforms, it'll be above. So check it out.
So we got from winner again. When the certificate expires, do we renew by paying or is it free to renew?
No, it's not free to renew. You'll have to renew by paying and going through that process again. So you will submit any additional documentation since the last time. So what will happen is we're going to look and see what you have thus far. That's so many hours. And then we'll look and see from that point. So say you get certified today. So then we'll start today and look at what you submit from today through, like Doc Vince said, April 17, 2025. Those 2 years, we'll see what you have done because you have to continue learning. You have to continue in the field and getting experience to continue to be certified. So you have to show documentation that you are still engaged at some in some way. So and we're about lifelong learning. So part of that could be any additional education and training that becomes available. And we know technology and things in this space is evolving so fast that there's always something new that you can learn and pick up and take on.
Is there a governing body on top of ICORBP?
No, like I said, it's our partners. That's kind of the same question that I answered earlier. It's the people that are part of our board and advisors and those who are partners with us and collaborators. What we've done is partnered and we collaborate with other experts in the field and leading institutions and organizations. And so those are the ones that hold us accountable at this point. Now that may change in the future, but at this point, that's what it is.
All right. I don't think there are any more questions. So we have all. I think what I'm going to do is just on after this broadcast, I'll put the description at the description where the website is or the link, and at the same time, should I put the code? I don't know if
I
they're
don't
they.
know.
I don't know. Should we do that? Because if they're not listening, they're not going to get the code. Or they gotta watch this. Dr. Tammy, where do you see blockchain profession 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Oh, that's a great question. What I see is it taking over. Like there will be blockchain involved in almost every industry. Right now, there's use cases, right? There's use cases in just about every industry. But what I mean is that it's going to be a part of what we do. So those people who are watching this broadcast that probably have no idea what blockchain is, they just stumbled on here or they saw me and followed me here and they're like, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what this blockchain stuff is. Even those people who probably have no clue, one, they may be using it already and don't realize it. But two, what will happen is that it will start permeating their job and entering their particular job and task that they do, and they'll encounter some of the things that we've talked about on previous episodes. So that's a good plug. If you haven't watched the previous episode, make sure you go watch some of the previous episodes that we've done in the last few years, and check them out, and listen to some of the experts and what they do in the field, so you can get different perspectives of different careers and how it's used in their particular industries. I'm in education, so I typically know what happens in education and what happens and how you can incorporate that strategically into your business, as I do in my consulting firm. So I typically know that. But if you want to know something about healthcare, if you want to know something about what they're doing in other industries or with other enterprises, you can definitely go check out some of those other episodes, how they're organizing communities, if it's a DAO, a decentralized um, autonomous organization, those type of things. You can see what people are doing with NFTs and how artists are using those, and musicians, and those who are creators of content, whether it's a book or whatever. Like all these things that we do, you can find use cases for them. And what's going to happen in the future is it's going to be right in your lap. Like you're going to be engaged with it at some level, even if it's not directly, because not all of us are developers and coders. And don't let this industry make you think that. I know a lot of the rhetoric in this space is to make you think that everyone is a coder and a developer, but this space needs more people like that. I am a non-tech person initially. I guess I'm kind of switching. I guess I'm in the middle now, but because I've been here a minute, but I'm an educator, and so, but in the education field, that's how we're thinking about credentialing. That's how we're thinking about storing student data. That's how we're thinking about really using it for that right now. And then,
Mm.
of course, curriculum, where now you have metaversities around the world. I'm in higher education, and so we're looking at it in different ways, and so it won't be used the same way in every industry, but you'll see it.
Yeah,
You'll see it.
and the thing is, mostly mainstream don't even know that they're using blockchain
Mhm.
technology in
Yeah,
a lot of aspects. Supply
yeah,
chain, they're
yeah,
already using
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So,
Absolutely. I know some people on the different campuses,
mm.
they're using a particular product. I'm not going to say the product name because they need to pay us money to say it. But there's
All
a
right.
particular product that institutions, higher ed institutions, typically use for enrollment and registration, and that uses and depending on if they're using that company, they're using blockchain technology, which is why they're instructed not to put certain things
Mm.
into a student record, and they're allowed to do one thing but not another, because what we know is once it's on the blockchain, it's on the blockchain. But they don't know it like the blockchain because they see the
Right.
user end of it.
Mm.
But when I talk to them and they tell me what product they're using, I'm like, it's
Blockchain.
blockchain
Yeah,
technology.
especially if there's international studies. I'm a graduate from where the Philippines or Asia. I'm going to the here in the States, and there's this, credentialing. They'll be asking for my transcript of records. What
Yeah.
would be the best solution? Blockchain. So
Yeah.
anyway, I guess that's we've got everything covered, and
Yeah.
we're gonna invite more of our viewers here for the future episodes because we're gonna have a lot, I think, and we'll be inviting a lot of guests.
Yes.
And we would like to thank each and every one of you for being here. We appreciate you. Final thoughts, final comments. Then I'll roll the, should I say, our partners that we're off. I'll give the whole floor, Dr. Tammy. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Doug Vance. Winner, it's on the screen. Like it's no secret to what my name is. It's on the screen. So uh, that's my name. That's how you find me. That's me. I'm Dr. Tammy, and in these social media streets, that's what they call me. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for your questions. And if there's anything that we can do to assist, make sure that you let us know. You can definitely send an inbox, a DM on any of the platforms where you're watching this for ICOR BP. You can also email us at CERT at icorbp.org, CERT, CERT at icorbp.org. And we will also put that in the description as well. So you can submit your inquiries there. And yeah, I look forward to working with each of you. And my team and I are excited about what this new journey is. And like I say, this is a launch. So y'all can think of yourselves as the pilot group on how this is going to work. So, and how this is going to go. But we are excited. And yeah, those who have already received their certificates are excited as well. You've probably seen them posting on our social media. So thank you all for doing that. And Doc Vince, I
Yeah.
guess we'll be together again when we have a special guest.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, I got one quick thing which is very important that needs to be addressed. Must the credit card parameters be entered before submission?
No, they don't have to be submitted, but when you renew, they will before it's approved. So at this time, it doesn't have to be.
All right. So I guess that's it. In blockchain, we trust. Thank you for me being here in the block. Stay safe, be safe. God bless you all. Dr. Tammy, don't go yet. But
Okay.
I'm going to roll out the sponsors. Bye, viewers.
This blockchain continuing education program is brought to you by our major sponsors: HTML Coin, Utility Coin Beyond the Hype; Allcash University, your online school in the fourth industrial revolution; Libra Codes, take control on your NFT creation; and Credence Hub, verified credentials, anytime, anywhere. We also would like to thank our partners: